Rise and shine. Good morning. It is Thursday, April the 18th, and we are so happy to start our day off with you right here on TV 24. So it is Gadsden State Thursday, and so we have special guests in the house. Andy Green, the Dean of Student Services, and Cody Beck, the Director of Enrollment Services. So welcome, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Glad to have you.
Thank you for having Gadsden State every Thursday.
I love it. I have learned so much every Thursday about all of the opportunities of education that there are, and workforce development and skills training, and it's been really fun. I've gotten to talk to people about it. Actually, last night I was at dinner, and the young lady who was waiting on our table, she was talking about wanting to explore some options and was wanting to go into the nursing field. And last week I had, we're the director of nursing. Yes. And so I sent her the link to the show, and I was like, watch it. And so she was so excited. And so it's been so much fun being able to learn this and to be able to talk about it. So.
Well, I think for what you just said there, we know that there are people all across this region that are looking for educational training or some certificate or degree, just as we were talking here in studio with someone behind the camera.
Yes.
And so us giving that information and you being able to carry that on, that's why we do this, and we're happy to partner with WEAC TV and here with Rise and Shine, and to tell everyone about the programs that we offer at Gadsden State.
Yeah, there's so many. So tell us a little bit about what your everyday is like there at Gadsden State, Cody.
Yeah, so right now I've been onboarding our enrollment specialists, and our enrollment specialists, what they do is they're the ones out in the school. So I know you mentioned having fun learning about what Gadsden State Community College has to offer, and that's what our enrollment specialists do with students. So they're out in high schools, they're at college fairs, and so I've been working with them. They started, I think, the 9th, April 8th or 9th. And so we've gotten them trained, and actually today will be their first day. They've been sporadically kind of out in the high schools, but today's their first day out of training and actually going out to the high schools. And so that's really our day-to-day, is just actually interacting, boots on the ground with students and telling them about the opportunities, educational opportunities especially, that we have to offer.
Yeah, that's great. So you both get to interact a lot with the students and then with the people that are out there in the schools.
We do. I mean, our students come from all over. Now, we know the students that are in high school that's one audience, and we have a lot of students who come to Gadsden State through dual enrollment. Dual enrollment opportunities across the state of Alabama. We've been so fortunate that there has been a commitment from the Alabama legislature to increase opportunities and access for students and families for dual enrollment, and Gadsden State is proud to be a part of that through the Alabama Community College system. And so through dual enrollment, we know that we can introduce students to that college curricula early. For many of those students, it's that chance for them to see, I can do this, because that dual enrollment environment is often maybe taught on that student's high school campus. So they're in a classroom that they're comfortable and familiar with, and it could even be their teacher who's teaching them. Now, we also send some of our faculty to instruct students through dual enrollment, but it's an easy way in for many of them, and it also gives them that chance to get a college course taken while getting high school credit. So we are out in high schools, but we're also out in the community, because we know that there are individuals who are looking to upskill. There are those who are just saying, I talked to somebody yesterday, he's had a very long, very successful career, and he'll be retiring in October. But he's still very young. And he said, I want to go and do something else. And so we were just talking about our CDL training class yesterday. And so he said, I know the time frame that will take. And so, and right now we're so excited because we have so many people wanting to come into it. We kind of have almost a waiting list. And so, so he said, I knew about that. I'm calling in April. I want to try to see if I can get in to start around. So when I graduate, or not graduate, but when he retires, he's graduating from his job, I guess.
There you go.
When he retires in October, he wants to do that program and start a whole new career. So we try to be wherever the opportunities are.
That's great. Right. Yeah. Well, God, there's just so many things. So with the skills training and workforce development, and the dual enrollment and the GED classes, and I mean, there's just so many opportunities. And that's one of those things, like, if you want to change the path that you're on, or just pick up a skill set like the carpentry class. That's one that I'm actually going to do. I think that would be really interesting, and just pick up some fun little tips and do some carpentry.
Well,
Right.
we offer more than 70 programs, and so what that allows students to do is if they maybe don't know what they want to pursue from an educational training, degree, or certificate, they can come to us at Gadsden State. We use a lot of tools and resources to help find maybe what best suits them. We want to help a student kind of fulfill their purpose, and if that's through a program, that's what we want to help them go through, and then if they have a change of course or action, we have something else there for them, and so we know in a short amount of time they can have a certificate where they can immediately go to work. If they're looking to take academic coursework and transfer to another higher education institution, pursue another degree, they do that also. And so we kind of are a great fit for most anyone out there who's looking to gain a certificate or training or skill, just to improve their individual situation. If they're looking to change course, to change path, just like the one I was talking about, or if they're just getting started.
Yeah, let's show that. I think we have the Pick Your Path. Okay, it was shown. So there are 70 plus options. So we'll show it again so we can kind of look at some of those things. Of course, CDL, nursing. Let's see, what are some of these others?
Yeah, so all those that you see there are in our workforce division. So those are a lot of the technical programs that you might be seeing there on screen right now. And I don't know if the QR code, you can scan it from wherever you're watching right now, but of course visiting gadstenstate.edu. And you can certainly view any of those programs in any of the 3 instructional areas. So I know last week you had a health science division here with Dean Joey Battles, the workforce division led by Dean Allen Smith, and then academic programs and services, Dean Farrah Hayes. All 3 instructional areas are again, they're geared to help a student find whatever it is, their path, what it is that they want to be doing.
Path.
Yeah, and then we're here to help get them started the best way that we can.
Dual enrollment is, you were talking about that, and that's so important. One of the things that you said that stood out is, being able to go ahead and go take a class and kind of, move slowly into it, because I think sometimes we go straight from high school and then summer and then boom, we're in, there's college. And so to be able to kind of experience what it's like before you get out of high school has got to take a lot of pressure off of the students, along with also gaining credits.
Yeah, for sure. So I actually come from a secondary education background. I was a high school teacher at Oxford, and so the level of maturity is just a little different. And I like to think dual enrollment helps in both the academic sense, but also that maturity level, right? I have a ton of friends who are teachers at local high schools around, and we talk about this all the time. The level of support that they have when they have a teacher right there over their shoulder all the time, and not to say that their college professor with Gadsden State's not going to be right there doing that thing with them. However, I think we do a really good job at Gadsden State at making sure that students are prepared for the workforce, and a little bit of that is giving them the task and letting them figure that task out and not being right over their shoulder, and they get a taste of that through dual enrollment.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's great.
Right.
Well, we've got so much more to talk about. We're going to take a quick break and check in with your local area weather with Lacey Clients. And again, it is Thursday, April 18th. You're watching Rise and Shine, and we'll be right back to talk more about Gadsden State.
Good morning, everyone. We are seeing a chance of rain every day for these next few days. Today, temperatures are getting up to 84 degrees, and we'll have a 20% chance of rain. Tomorrow, we'll have a high of 82 with a 40% chance of rain. And then finally, on Saturday, the high will only be 75 degrees and with a 30% chance of showers. I'm Lacey Clients with your TV 24 weather.
You need strength, resilience, and hope to face life challenges. And I found all 3 at Gadsden State Community College. I'm Jada Pickens, an Office Administration student at Gadsden State's Ayers campus in Anniston. Along with attending classes, I work full-time. Life is very demanding. There's a real sense of support at Gadsden State. The faculty and staff care about us as individuals and want us to thrive in the classroom and in life. Thank you, Gadsden State, for giving me the wings to fly to new, unexpected heights.
Parents, I have something that'll teach your child how to follow directions and finish what they start. I'm talking about STEM. That's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Now we're having a free STEM extravaganza on Saturday, April 20th at the City Meeting Center in Anniston. Registration is free at academics.com. It's going to be STEM-tastic.
At Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gadsden or Oxford.
Hey everybody, this is Roper & Son Septic Service. I'm Ashley Roper, this is my dad Dwight Roper, and this is Mr. Phil Wiggins. And we're licensed and insured for pumping and for installing. If you can't use, you can. Let Ashley Roper be your septic tank man. Y'all have a blessed day.
I'm Lacey Clontz with your TV 24 News update. Stephen Smollett Jr. of Boaz was killed in a fiery crash Tuesday. According to the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, Smollett was driving a Freightliner Cascadia tractor trailer when it left the roadway, overturned, and caught fire. The accident happened just after 10 o'clock a.m. on Interstate 22 in Walker County. According to the Alabama Department of Transportation, it happened in the westbound lanes at exit 46 between Dogtown Road and Engle Road. A county commissioner said that there was a large oil fire at that location, and a huge plume of black smoke could be seen from a distance. AlDOT officials do not know what type of load the truck was hauling, and they are uncertain which direction the truck was headed when it crashed. But they did state that there was fire damage to the road and that it had to be repaired before reopening. Lanes in both directions were closed for hours, and the final lanes reopened Tuesday night. Stephen Smollett Jr. was only 40 years old. The Calhoun County Annual Spring Fair is here. From delicious fair foods to classic carnival rides, it's surely a great place for the whole family. Admission to the fair is $5 for individuals aged 5 and older, offering access to a wide array of attractions and activities. For those seeking thrills, unlimited ride armbands can be purchased for $20, providing unlimited access to all the rides. The fair runs through Saturday, April 27th, with the exception of Monday the 22nd. Gates open nightly at 6 p.m., except for Sunday when they'll be open from 1 to 4 p.m. The fair is located at the Calhoun County Ag Center, 4500 Bynum Leatherwood Road. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Clontz.
Rise and shine. It is 7:43 on your Thursday morning, April the 18th. And Thursdays, we get to learn about Gadsden State. And we want to let you know that registration is now open for summer and fall classes. So, welcome back. Yeah, so elaborate a little bit more about the registration being open and how do people, just some details on that. How do people register?
So the way that registration happens with Gadsden State is we run a semester system. And so if you're taking any of the coursework that might be an academic-based course, that's going to operate on a semester, and those fit within what we call an academic year, and the academic year begins in the fall. So kind of if you think back to your K-12 days, as you start the new school year in August, you look forward maybe to that break at the middle of the year, the end of the year, but it's the middle of the academic year. Spring semester in January, so we're just wrapping up spring. We're excited. We've been recognizing many of our students for awards and honors. We've had 2 of those this week, one at our Ayers campus, and then just yesterday at the Gadsden campus, celebrating student achievements. And graduation is coming up, and that'll actually be at our Cherokee campus in Center, Alabama. And so we enjoy the academic year because you have all of those things, but we're also looking ahead. And summer registration's open, which is kind of the end of the current academic year. But also fall registration's open. So those students who are in high school right now, if they're looking to go to further their education, a lot of times they might be deciding to come in and start in the fall. So they get that summer break after high school and they get to do those things. But because we essentially have year-round coursework, that allows a student to start at any time. And so because there are 2 semesters that are open right now, summer and fall registration, what we want students to do is to visit GadsdenState.edu and apply. There'll be, if they have questions about that, they can speak with Cody and his staff in Enrollment Services, but our Admissions and Records Office are ready to receive those applications, process those, and as soon as the student's admitted, what we want to try to do is connect them to an academic advisor so that they can register for those semester classes. Now, if they're a new student coming in for the fall semester, we'll have them come through something we call Cardinal Commit. You want to tell them about that, Cody?
Yeah, so Cardinal Commit is just our orientation program. And so what they'll do is they'll come on campus, they'll get a little bit of a feel for the campus. I know we've got some new buildings and we've got plans to renovate other buildings. And so they'll get to see some of what the future at Gadsden State Community College looks like, but they'll also get to kind of dig into what the registration process looks like. Their My Gadsden State, their One ACCS accounts, learn a bit about that, and then they'll also get to possibly learn a little bit about their program and meet with their dean and some of their instructors. So it really just should plug them into their college so that they're more successful when they stick with us in the fall.
Mm-hmm. And that's great. And it kind of go over what options there are. I'm guessing that is one of the things that they do with.
Yeah, that's right. Just what we were talking, the academic programs. We know many come to us with hey, I know this is what I want to do, and so we want to encourage that. And many come and say, I'm not certain, but I do know I'm looking for something else beyond whatever I've been doing. And so that's why we're there. And of course, we have teams of people who are ready to help them because we don't want any student to be left just to kind of do that on their own. And so we recognize that many of these high school students, they might still be 16, 17, maybe 18 years old at that time. And so we kind of respect that, and we want to help them along. And we also know there's individuals who are maybe much older and more mature. Our average age of our student now is it continues to increase. 22 years old is the average age of the student. So a lot of times people think college students, well, they're 18, but we have students who take gap years, who after high school they say, you know what, I just want to go and work. I want to go and maybe have a little bit of life before I get back into some educational training. And so we want to say, well, hey, we know you've been there, done that on a few things, but we're here to help you. And so we want to make sure they register for the right class so that they can progress and graduate, and we can celebrate them just like we celebrated students this week.
Yeah, that's so great. I love seeing all of those accomplishments of the students, and to get to see last week with the nursing program, the 100% pass rate. I mean, that it's just so great, these opportunities that people are getting right here in your backyard, essentially. So let's say you talked about 2 campuses, the Cherokee campus, the Ayers campus. There's 5 locations?
Yes, we have 5 locations.
So convenient.
Yeah, the three of those are in Gadsden. So we have the East Broad and Wallace Drive campus, and those are separated by Wallace Drive. And so a lot of times if you're passing through Gadsden State area, you might say, well, it is just one. But we kind of separate those out just based on some historical things and where the East Broad campus originated from and the Wallace Drive campus, but being that together. And in Gadsden, we also have Valley Street, which is designated as a historically black community college. And so we're very proud to be able to celebrate having that history and culture there. The Cherokee campus that we mentioned, which is where we host our commencement exercises, and we have some unique programs that are available through the Cherokee campus in Center, Alabama. And then the Ayers campus, which is just right down the street from here.
Super close.
We cover the region, and that makes us accessible to students. But if a student wants to come to those campuses to take coursework, or they want to be online, students can take classes online. And so wherever is convenient for them, they can learn where they live.
That's great. And there's campus tours available too. So if somebody might want to go and check out the campus, then how do they schedule that?
Right, so they'll just go online to our Enrollment Services website. Really, at the end of the day, if they wanted to go to our website and just search campus tours, that's going to be the first link that pops up. And really, that is what we recommend. What we see is our students are more successful when they know the campus they're at, right?
Sure.
So what we like to do is pair them up with one of our ambassadors. So they're being led by typically another student on campus to really give them the student perspective. And depending on if they're wanting to see more of our technical programs or our health science programs or maybe our academic programs, we cater the tour to that student.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have tours going often?
We do. And what we try to schedule is when it's convenient for the students, but also for the institution, because if you drive onto the college campus any day of the week, you might see something different. And so, if you're there when instruction is happening, you say, "Wow, this place is crazy busy right now." I mean, health sciences, for example, there's a lot of those days when they're on campus for their in-classroom training, and then there's days when they're doing clinical training. And so if you went on one of those days where the students are out doing clinical trainings, you would think, well, where is everyone? Well, they're out in the field, because a lot of the programs and what they're doing is hands-on. Yeah. And we truly believe in that learning environment of doing, depending on the program. And so we do try to make tours as convenient as we possibly can for any individuals. And of course, this is a great time to visit, because because it's the springtime, and when we might have a passing rain shower, but it's a beautiful campus wherever you are on any 5 of the locations, to just get as Cody said, a feel for it, so you kind of identify with it and feel comfortable going to that campus. But we also have students who take classes on multiple campuses. I know some students who will kind of move around at different places, and so I've just said, you just like to get around a little bit from place to place, and they said, yeah, because I get to be everywhere.
Yeah, so a little change of scenery.
That's right.
It's always nice. And so if there's someone who changes like the campuses, there's maybe an opportunity for them here at Ayers and then in Gadsden, so they can go to all of the different campuses like that.
They can, and there are programs that are specific to campuses. As I mentioned, there's some that are specific to the Cherokee campus, so there's some specific to the Valley Street campus, and so, so there's coursework that might only be at that one campus, but there might be another class that they could take somewhere else, and so our campus tours are led by our ambassadors, which they themselves are students, and so we feel strongly about putting prospective students with a current student. It gives them that chance to ask some one-on-one questions. We know that those students have the best experience to share because they are in it right now.
Sure.
And so, as Cody mentioned, we try to pair them up even to the degree of, hey, if you're looking at going into this program, we're going to find one of our ambassadors who can give you that tour to that. But yeah, students can go between campuses, and if that's up to them, I say have fun with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's great that you pair them up with someone so they get to meet a friend. They get to meet someone that is their peer and can really like guide them, because of course, they want to talk with y'all, but sometimes somebody who's actually a student and, going through might make them feel a little bit more comfortable.
It absolutely does. I think we identify with people that we can see ourselves in, and
sure.
As I get older, I look to those high school students, or maybe the average age of 22, and I say, well, I'm a lot further away from that than I once was, and so yeah, a current student is able to give them a great perspective, and also just be real with them, and it can tell them, hey, I just got out of a class, let me tell you what we were just doing. And so that is an experience unlike any other.
I think that's great. And they get to meet a friend.
Yeah.
So then when they do start school, they know someone. So that's great. Not saying that y'all aren't cool. You're super cool,
Well, we know where we fall on that. So.
And you get to do so many fun things. So, Cody, you're in a lot of high schools, and so you have that background too. So when you talk with high schoolers, what are some of the most asked questions?
So a lot of the questions are the same questions we've already went over. Alabama has a ton of first-gen students within our region, and I myself was a first-gen student, and I think back through that process, and I think that regardless of my age, allows me to kind of connect back to those students. A lot of times I'm from Sandrock, Alabama, and I wasn't aware of what the college process looked like, and my parents weren't as aware as I'm sure they've told me this as they would like to be with that process. And so a lot of the questions we get are based off of financial aid or how to pay for college or just basic application questions, right? And then sometimes we have students that'll just be like, hey, how do I get into my email, right? And I'm like, man, we got to figure this email thing out if we're figuring out college here. So, it really depends on the schools and the students that we're dealing with. And I want to give my hats off to the counselors at all of our schools that I've been working with in the area. They do a wonderful job at preparing our students. We were just meeting with some counselors at Piedmont High School, and they really got things going over there. And we were kind of talking through getting 9th, 10th, and 11th graders all applied for dual enrollment and some other things, and those counselors just basically told me, hey, we sit them down and we walk them through the process, and we were just talking about sharing resources to support them through that process. But that's the main questions that I get are dealing with financial aid and the application process, and that's what my enrollment specialists, along with being experts in Gadsden State Community College, specifically are experts with getting them through the enrollment process so that especially those first-gen students who have never even heard about what this application or the FAFSA or financial aid or any of that stuff is, we can help them there.
Yeah, that's great. I do want to talk about tuition. Let's go to a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about tuition, because that is a common thing. I can imagine that would be the question, because when you're thinking about, well, I want to go to school, but how do I pay for it?
Sure.
Right.
So when we get back, we'll have those questions answered right here on Rise and Shine. We'll be right back.
Good morning, everyone. We are seeing a chance of rain every day for these next few days. Today, temperatures are getting up to 84 degrees and we'll have a 20% chance of rain. Tomorrow, we'll have a high of 82 with a 40% chance of rain. And then finally on Saturday, the high will only be 75 degrees and with a 30% chance of showers. I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 weather.
Hi, Jake, Regional Vice President of LSI Staffing. LSI Staffing is a privately owned and family-operated business that was established in 1986. We specialize in commercial, light industrial staffing, warehouse, manufacturing, production, and assembly. If you're a company in the area looking for a new staffing partner, we'd love to talk to you. If you're an employee looking for a great job that offers benefits day one and competitive pay, come see us. Once again, you can find us at www.lsistaffing.com.
Gardens on Air is a unique farm right here in East Central Alabama, family owned and operated since 2010. It is the state's largest indoor hydroponic farm. Gardens on Air's goal is to feed, educate, and be immersed in the community they are located in. They want to teach people what it truly means to eat local and support local. Gardens on Air, located in Hopes Bluff, Alabama.
What's going on, everybody? Scoot from Hooligan Harley, your one-stop shop for all your motorcycle needs, ranging anywhere from our new and pre-owned motorcycle inventory, all the parts and accessories you could ever ask for in our parts department, all the gear you could ever need while riding in our motor clothes department, and of course our award-winning service department. Don't forget to check out our events tab on our website to keep up with everything we got going on. And remember, guys, if nobody has it, Hooligan has it. I'll see you soon.
I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 News update. Stephen Smollett Jr. of Boaz was killed in a fiery crash Tuesday. According to the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, Smollett was driving a Freightliner Cascadia tractor trailer when it left the roadway, overturned, and caught fire. The accident happened just after 10 o'clock a.m. on Interstate 22 in Walker County. According to the Alabama Department of Transportation, it happened in the westbound lanes at exit 46 between Dogtown Road and Ingle Road. A county commissioner said that there was a large oil fire at that location and a huge plume of black smoke could be seen from a distance. AlDOT officials do not know what type of load the truck was hauling, and they are uncertain which direction the truck was headed when it crashed. But they did state that there was fire damage to the road and that it had to be repaired before reopening. Lanes in both directions were closed for hours, and the final lanes reopened Tuesday night. Stephen Smollett Jr. was only 40 years old. The Calhoun County Annual Spring Fair is here. From delicious fair foods to classic carnival rides, it's surely a great place for the whole family. Admission to the fair is $5 for individuals aged 5 and older, offering access to a wide array of attractions and activities. For those seeking thrills, unlimited ride armbands can be purchased for $20, providing unlimited access to all the rides. The fair runs through Saturday, April 27th, with the exception of Monday the 22nd. Gates open nightly at 6 p.m., except for Sunday when they'll be open from 1 to 4 p.m. The fair is located at the Calhoun County Ag Center, 4500 Bynum Leatherwood Road. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Rise and shine. It is Thursday morning, April the 18th, 8 a.m. in the morning. And we have Andy Green, Dean of Student Services, and Cody Beck, Director of Enrollment Services. And when we went to a break, we were going to start talking about money, tuition, opportunities, scholarships, all of the things that Gadsden State is able to offer students. And, don't be held back by being worried about how you're going to pay for it. So tell us a little bit about that. Who wants to go first?
Well, Cody was talking about how that's a lot of the questions that families and students may have is, hey, I'm excited about doing this. How am I going to pay for it? They recognize that it is it's an investment, but it's an investment that returns something that is positive for them. And so we have dedicated financial aid staff that is, they're actually in the process of hosting different federal financial aid nights with the FAFSA. That's the free application for federal student aid. We encourage all of our students to complete that application. It is through the Department of Ed. And so once that student completes the application, through the information that they provide, then we and any of the other institutions that they may list will be able to determine what they're eligible for from a federal financial aid process. And so I encourage every student to complete the FAFSA. The Department of Ed has released what's called Better FAFSA for the 24-25 aid year, which is what's coming up. And so we are excited about that process. I know that there are still many who are anxious about it because it being new and different, and it's kind of changed our timelines and schedules just a little bit, but we are prepared in the financial aid office to answer all of those questions and to serve those students. And so once we know what they might be eligible for from that federal aid standpoint, then that allows us to share with the student and the family, here's what your anticipated cost would be. Now, the tuition at Gadsden State for this current semester in the summer is $168 per credit hour. And so it is still a very low cost tuition, but it's high value because 1 in 41 jobs within our service area have some sort of support from Gadsden State. So the economic outlook for the region and for the state of Alabama, Gadsden State is playing a major part in it. The entire community college system is. And in some cases, the return on investment in a 2-year degree is greater than that of even a 4-year degree.
Sure.
And so we know that there's a balance and that there's going to be students who are pursuing different avenues. Some of the money research that we are seeing is that the economic impact that Gadsden State has had is $208 million just here in our service area.
Wow.
And so we know when a student pays to come to school and whatever financial aid they might be getting. There are other programs through the Department of Labor like the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act or WEOA. You can go to the Career Center wherever you're located in your region, in your county, and find out we're an eligible training provider for a lot of programs. And so when the students do make that upfront investment, it is an investment in themselves. It's them saying, hey, I'm putting some money into me, and that rarely ever returns void. To give yourself the training and education that you need to go out and provide for your family. And so we have students from all socioeconomic backgrounds that are coming to Gadsden State, that are learning and then are going out and earning. And we know that earnings potential increases with every certificate and degree that you achieve. And so we want to be providing as much of that as we possibly can.
Yeah. Well, that's great. You have anything to add to that, Cody?
No, I mean, I think I enjoy kind of some examples of this. And when you speak to Dean Smith, our technical programs dean, our workforce dean, he can provide countless examples of students who, graduate from with a certificate in, let's say, HVAC or any of our welders and things like that. And these are 6-figure jobs once they hit the road. And, coming from a person who has a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, that is just a figure that I would love to be making, So I just think, sometimes we can overlook community colleges and those economic opportunities. And when we're talking about student debt and that being such a hot topic statewide and nationwide, I think it's important that we outline, the tuition cost and then also the economic opportunity that we can provide for those students. So,
yes. Yeah. When I was talking with Dean Smith, they came on the show about a month ago now, but he was telling me about the programs and he'd saying it's free. And I'm like, free? Like free? It's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, wow. I mean, community college is definitely, like you said, making a splash, and there's so many opportunities. And with Gadsden State, so many opportunities, so many things. And so even from basic courses, like we were talking to someone today about just getting like some basic courses out of the way, and like not out of the way, but how would I say that? Like accomplish basic courses and go ahead and then see maybe what the next step might be. And it might be staying at Gadsden State. It may be going over to a 4-year university. I mean, it creates so many opportunities to where kids have so many opportunities there.
Yeah, I was talking with one of our current ambassadors who's a Calhoun County native, and she has plans to be an educator. She wants to follow in her family footsteps. Both her mom and dad are teachers, and they're in different roles now as educator administration, and so she was able to take advantage of dual enrollment in high school, and so that got her a great start. And then she came to us in the fall semester and has just been a wonderful student and a model for so many, and got to recognize her yesterday at that awards day. But as she was getting ready at the end of the semester, she was going to be transferring and to go and finish what is required for the State Department of Ed to be a teacher in Alabama. And so I just said, you know what, let's look at this and let's see how we can get you graduated from Gadsden State, because you have done sufficient coursework through dual enrollment and through this last 2 semesters here. And so while she thought she would just get those courses and kind of transfer and pursue another degree, she's actually going to get to graduate from Gadsden State here in a few weeks with that associate's degree and still go on and progress and get the bachelor's degree. But she said, you know, I had no idea that I could really achieve this. Well, it's because she took advantage of dual enrollment. She was with us for the fall semester and the spring semester, and she's one of many who have been able to do that. But you know, it's because of her persistence that she was able to pursue those things. And she took advantage of scholarships too. I mean, she, coming out of high school, she went through the process to see what's some of that other money that might be available. So where Dean Smith was saying it's free, I mean, we want to reduce as much as we possibly can, because we know what the investment is. It's in that student, and then they're going to come back and they're going to work, and we want them to be a contributor in the state of Alabama.
Yes, keep them here in the state. $168 per credit hour, though, that is, I mean, that's very achievable. You know, I mean, as you do, it is. As you look at, I see a lot of the statistics for, you know, the years ago where minimum wage and what the cost of tuition and fees and how somebody could work all summer long, and you could work all summer long and pay for an entire year of school. And the economics have changed quite a bit with respect to what it costs to go to school. But I always want to look at what's the value. What are you getting? And it might not be an immediate return. You know, where you might be in a program that takes more than 1 semester or more than just a few months, but what is that long-term gain? And so it is an upfront cost, and we want to reduce that as much as possible, but the long-term gain for that individual student can be generationally changing, especially if they have been in a situation where maybe just no training, no certificate, nothing to be able to get them that next job, and that's where we come in and try to point them towards something that can change their entire family. Change their life. It is life-changing. Education is. With dual enrollment, the kids that are able to do dual enrollment, they are eligible for scholarship opportunities as well? Okay.
Yeah, so that's some of the great things that the Alabama State Legislature has been able to do, is to direct funds through Alabama Community College System that they in turn give out to all of the community colleges for dual enrollment, because we're looking at these high wage, high demand careers. And so if a student is looking in some of the high wage, high demand, we have options available for them to, if they're in our service region, which most of this broadcast, of course you're online, so you go everywhere, but students that are here in this service region, if they're interested in dual enrollment, we do have to have an agreement with that school. If they're in school, maybe they're a homeschool student. We have a lot of agreements with homeschool associations so that their students are getting the same access that maybe some of the schools that are public schools. But private schools, public schools, we can get an agreement together, but that allows us to provide the students with the coursework, but there are scholarships that are available, and so students who are in high school right now, that is April of 2024, if they're interested in any dual enrollment opportunity, we want them to apply before May the 1st, and that's what Cody's team is out doing right now, is getting students to apply before 1 May, so that for the next academic year we can ensure that they have access to that it's taxpayer funded, and so that's what we want to be, good stewards of the resources for the people of Alabama. And if we can take what taxpayer money is coming into and put that back into the future workforce, that to me demonstrates being a good steward of that money. And because we know the number of individuals retiring, we know the job opportunities are there, and I think that we all know our future is in the economic interest, and so we want everyone working and everyone who wants to work to be able to have that job, but to be fulfilled with what they're doing too.
Absolutely, and there are so many jobs and careers out there that need people. They need workers. Yeah. And so you're helping, provide that. Gosh, I just love it. I love learning so much about Gadsden State. I have so many questions, and now I'm trying to think of some. You've answered so many of them.
Well, that's what we do. I mean, I'll tell you, as Cody mentioned, we were at a school recently this week, and one of the career coaches there, so they kind of come alongside the counselor role, and they're really helping students identify what their next steps are going to be after high school. Counselors are, now I'm married to a counselor, and I love my wife, and so I hear all the things that counselors are in, and so career coaches are in that similar role, but career coach was on our campus recently and said, I had no idea that you did have all of these things, and so for her as a career coach, getting that personal up close front view of what we have to offer changed her perception, and it changed her mind, and said, now I see why my students are saying, hey, I want to go to Gadsden State. And it wasn't that we didn't do a good job of telling her, it was just because things are changing so quickly. We have had so much great investment. President Kathy Murphy has put a tremendous amount into capital projects in her first few years, and to make sure that we are offering a quality environment and with all of the equipment that the students need. And so as that career coach came in and saw what we are offering, she just could not believe it.
I know, and I'm sure you'd like to invite any career coaches to come take a tour, as well as, of course, potential students. But career coaches, come out, take that tour with Gadsden State.
Yeah,
go
career
visit.
coaches, employers, whomever it may be. I mean, those are the things. Those are the people that, I sometimes view it as those are our customers, in that sense of those are the ones. The students are to me the part of that educational process. But what can we do to produce a quality student so that employer can hire them and they're ready to go day one on the job? And so we have some courses that are we call it WKO 101. That's just essentially a workplace skills course. I think about it from a workplace. You're not going to be there that day. You call in and you say, hey, I'm not going to make it to work today. Students might not be used to that process, because when they're sick, they're sick. They don't call the school. The school calls them and says, hey, they missed school today. Yeah, I got one of those calls recently because had a sick child. But so culturing that individual to, hey, when you're not going to be there, it's responsible to call and say, hey, here's what's going on. I'm sick. I'm not going to make it today. And so some of those soft skills and things that not that they didn't learn in high school, it's just they didn't have to learn in high school. And so through that course, which is one that we want everyone to take, because that's going to help them in life.
Sure, that is great on a resume. I think if I were hiring someone and I saw that they went through a course like that, it would pique my interest for sure. Like, okay, actually, I think all businesses should send their employees through that.
Right. Well, feel free to reach
out.
Yeah. Let us know.
It couldn't hurt. Well, we've got some more things to talk about. I've just thought of a few questions, but I'm going to send it to a break first because we want to have plenty of time to answer them. So stay tuned. We're learning all about Gadsden State this Thursday morning on Rise and Shine, and we'll be right back.
Good morning, everyone. We are seeing a chance of rain every day for these next few days. Today, temperatures are getting up to 84 degrees, and we'll have a 20% chance of rain. Tomorrow, we'll have a high of 82 with a 40% chance of rain. And then finally, on Saturday, the high will only be 75 degrees and with a 30% chance of showers. I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 weather.
You need strength, resilience, and hope to face life challenges. And I found all three at Gadsden State Community College. I'm Jada Pickens, an office administration student at Gadsden State's Ayers campus in Anniston. Along with attending classes, I work full-time. Life is very demanding. There's a real sense of support at Gadsden State. The faculty and staff care about us as individuals and want us to thrive in the classroom and in life. Thank you, Gadsden State, for giving me the wings to fly to new, unexpected heights.
Parents, I have something that'll teach your child how to follow directions and finish what they start. I'm talking about STEM. That's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Now we're having a free STEM extravaganza on Saturday, April 20th at the City Meeting Center in Anniston. Registration is free at academics.com. It's going to be STEM-tastic.
At Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gadsden or Oxford.
Hey everybody, this is Roper & Son Septic Service. I'm Ashley Roper, this is my dad Dwight Roper, and this is Mr. Phil Wiggins. And we're licensed and insured for pumping and for installing. If you can't use, you can. Let Ashley Roper be your septic tank man. Y'all have a blessed day.
I'm Lacey Clontz with your TV 24 News update. Stephen Smollett Jr. of Boaz was killed in a fiery crash Tuesday. According to the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, Smollett was driving a Freightliner Cascadia tractor trailer when it left the roadway, overturned, and caught fire. The accident happened just after 10 o'clock a.m. on Interstate 22 in Walker County. According to the Alabama Department of Transportation, it happened in the westbound lanes at exit 46 between Dogtown Road and Ingle Road. A county commissioner said that there was a large oil fire at that location and a huge plume of black smoke could be seen from a distance. ALDOT officials do not know what type of load the truck was hauling, and they are uncertain which direction the truck was headed when it crashed. But they did state that there was fire damage to the road and that it had to be repaired before reopening. Lanes in both directions were closed for hours, and the final lanes reopened Tuesday night. Stephen Smollett Jr. was only 40 years old. The Calhoun County Annual Spring Fair is here. From delicious fair foods to classic carnival rides, it's surely a great place for the whole family. Admission to the fair is $5 for individuals aged 5 and older, offering access to a wide array of attractions and activities. For those seeking thrills, unlimited ride armbands can be purchased for $20, providing unlimited access to all the rides. The fair runs through Saturday, April 27th, with the exception of Monday the 22nd. Gates open nightly at 6 p.m., except for Sunday when they'll be open from 1 to 4 p.m. The fair is located at the Calhoun County Ag Center, 4500 Bynum Leatherwood Road. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Clontz.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine, Thursday morning, April the 18th, and you don't have much time left for this open enrollment, so make sure if you are interested, May 1st is the deadline. Again, we've been visiting with Andy Green and Cody Beck, and so they're all about student services. Director of Enrollment Services and Cody, and then the Dean of Student Services, Andy. And we've learned so much. We've talked about tuition. Also, one of the things that we were talking about during the break is it's not always the traditional path anymore to go from high school straight to a 4-year. And not everybody learns in the same way. Not everyone is interested in going to school. Not everybody schools well, and they may be just wanting to go into the workforce. But you got to have skills for that. Yeah. You have to have training for most jobs and really to earn higher wages. So are there anything else that we want? We've got a little bit more time this morning that we didn't touch on. Tuition, that's very important. The FAFSA, how do they fill out the FAFSA form?
So Cody and his team going out into high schools, they can help students, but most of our career coaches and counselors will help. But our financial aid staff at Gadsden State, they're hosting FAFSA nights throughout the rest of the month of April and into May. And if anybody ever has questions between our Ayers campus and our Gadsden campus, we have staff and financial aid at both. They don't have to have an appointment. They can just come in to either campus, and if they don't know where to start, we have staff that are there to get them started. Now, it will require some information that is from prior year tax filings, but we can get them started with creating the account that is through the Department of Education. And so completing that, again, is one of those first steps for many students because we want to know what they might be eligible for from the Pell Grant standpoint. So that's monies that the student can use for their educational training that they do not have to pay back. So we want that student to progress and graduate, and we want to do so with as least of economic impact to that student. So when they do graduate, whatever they are earning, they can use for supporting their family or using for whatever they want to do it for. So that process, again, it is outside of the institution, meaning a federal process. And all schools fall through it. And so all schools are in that. And with it being better FAFSA right now, is what the new FAFSA is being called, there have been some opportunities to learn along the way. But in the end, what's going to be wonderful is that more students are going to be eligible for Pell Grants. And so that's very encouraging that all across the country that more students will have access to Pell Grants than what has been prior. But if students will begin, whether it be if they're in high school right now, and maybe they have been out, maybe they took a gap year, or they just said, hey, I'm going to go work for a little bit before I decide what I want to do, those students have that same access. They can come into campus, our Ayers location or Gadsden location, and just come in to, if they're on the Gadsden Center or our one-stop center, which is where both of us are located, but that's where financial aid is, they'll come in and sign in, and we'll be able to help them right away. If they come over to Ayers, they do the exact same thing, and we've got financial aid staff ready to help them. But it doesn't end there, and so for them, if they know what they want to pursue, we're going to get them connected to that program. If they don't know, we're going to connect them to an advisor to just help guide them along the way. But then once they do enroll, it doesn't stop. I mean, we have services that are all along the way. The Cardinal Tutoring Center, for students who have said, I enjoy class, but I want to make sure that I make the best grade possible. Or maybe those who have said, hey, I need to get it in gear here. It's getting close to the grades. And so the Cardinal Tutoring Center is available for our students. So providing that to them is an experience. And then the campus life of Gadsden, everything from having athletics, and so very excited to have recently broken ground ceremoniously on a new baseball and softball facility. With a softball team, will be this time next year we'll be competing again, and so baseball is in season right now, and softball and the other athletic areas. The student life that is on campus, and so whether it be through Student Government Association or any of the clubs and organizations. So once the students, if they come to campus, they want to have that campus experience, they can have that at Gadsden. If they want to live at home and drive and commute to Gadsden, they can do that. We also have a residence hall on campus, and so if a student is interested in trying to move to campus, that's an available option to them as rooms are available. But so it's not just a classroom environment. Certainly that's important. But we want to provide as much wraparound to that student as we can to give them the social environment for them to learn outside of the classroom, to just learn who they are.
Sure. I think that might be a common misconception of a community college, is that it's just one of those that you just go to the classes and there's not like student life, but there is. There's so many cool things to do. And like you said, with the baseball and softball gearing up, that's going to be a big deal. It already is.
Yeah, it is. And what's been really encouraging, Blake Lewis, who is the athletic director and baseball coach, Ryan Clark, who's a softball coach, just watching them go out and really restart these programs that had ended years ago, before the current administration's time, and so to kind of resurrect these programs and to bring them back. But they're looking at talent that's right here in this region, and to see students who have said, hey, I'm going to go and play at Gadsden State. I mean, what an encouraging thing, because their family, their friends that have supported them in their athletic journey all through high school, they're going to be able to come and see them compete and compete at one of the best levels in the state, and so that's just awesome for us. Basketball, is another one of those sports that to draw talent from wherever across the country, but we get some of these local talent here, and they get to participate and basketball season, finishing it up back in the spring. Then you move right into baseball, and the next year we'll move to baseball to softball. Then you have volleyball, and you have cross country and tennis, and so you have all of the athletics that are going on. And so you're right, it's not just go to class and then do nothing else. There are things for students to be involved with and participate.
And the fine arts division. I love theater, and you've got a great fine arts division. I got to see the last performance that they did at the Glass Menagerie, and it was really top notch. I was very impressed. So there's so many cool things happening at Gadsden State, and your future can start with just one phone call. You can give them a call or go to gadstenstate.edu. And there's so much great information. That website is just packed full of testimonials of students and faculty and all the fun things. So I mean, basically, you can find everything there. And then if you would rather have somebody guide you, you've got so many counselors and advisors that are standing by. So your high school counselor can help guide you in the right direction, and then you have faculty there at Gadsden State that's ready to help you. So give them a call. Yeah, it just starts with that. If you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, I want to do something, but I'm not sure what I want to do, well, you've got some people to talk to that are on your side that can help you with that. Because sometimes that next step can be a little daunting. You know, like, what do I want to do next? Well, there's so many opportunities.
Right.
What you got to say, Cody?
Not much more. I mean, it sounds like you've got it. That's what our enrollment team is here for. We're here to help you. Help you get enrolled, help you through the financial aid process, and again, we're here to build relationships and support the students and in turn support the state. So we're here for the principals, the students, the counselors, all of you. So give us a call.
Yeah. Well, Andy, what would you like to leave our viewers with?
Well, I just want to thank y'all for the partnership that we've been able to have with you, and for every Thursday you sitting down with Gadsden State. And,
I love it.
And you know, you look at how many Thursdays that we've been able to be here, and the ones that are upcoming. And so, you know, what I would encourage all of the viewers that are out there that are watching and saying, hey, I do want to know more about Gadsden State. Please visit us, whether it be one of our 5 locations, or reach out and give us a call. Visit us online. We're happy to help and assist, and a lot of times, you know, the people don't even know what question to ask first, and that's certainly okay too, because we have students and learners of all backgrounds and ages, and so what we want to be able to do is just make ourselves available, and then also say, hey, we're here to help you throughout this process. Because for us, the greatest day for me on the campus is graduation. You know, last year in the spring semester, we graduated a record number of students receiving credentials in the new millennium, and you know, that to me is just that moment of celebration, and to see families who were first-gen students, you know, I mean, those families who are watching that first student graduate from that family, and know that all of the late nights, maybe sitting around the kitchen table, all of the mornings of getting that last little bit of homework done, or whatever life that this individual has had. I know, talking with a student yesterday who has just had some hard life so far, a young lady, and she experienced more than I think anyone ever should. And fortunately, she's been able to get her life where she's able to provide for her family through the training that she has received. And it was just such a joy to celebrate her at Awards Day, and then we will again at graduation, and know that you know, she's been able to turn her life around, and Gadsden State was a part of that. I'm not going to say we were the change for her. She made decisions that got her there, but we got to be a part of that, and to see her little girl clap and celebrate and say, I love you, Mommy. I mean, it's just it's touching, but to know that a whole family has been changed.
Yeah. And there's so many families out there that have, and so much confidence building that education can give you. So thank you all so much. It's been really great to get to know both of you. And next week, on next Thursday, we have President of Gadsden State Community College, Dr. Kathy Murphy, with us. So I'm looking forward to hearing some more from her. So thank you so much. Make sure you're tuning in tomorrow. We have Ellen Hurst with Alabama Cares as a guest. Again, thank you so much to Gadsden State. Thank you to Andy and Cody for being our guests today. Reach out to them and make sure you visit gadstenstate.edu. We wish you all a great day. See you back here tomorrow.
You need strength, resilience, and hope to face life challenges. And I found all three at Gadsden State Community College. I'm Jada Pickens, an Office Administration student at Gadsden State's Ayers campus in Anniston. Along with attending classes, I work full-time. Life is very demanding. There's a real sense of support at Gadsden State. The faculty and staff care about us as individuals and want us to thrive in the classroom and in life. Thank you, Gadsden State, for giving me the wings to fly to new, unexpected heights.